Pensé todo lo contrario, que eras un tipo que te habían maltratado.
No.
Por lo que escribí, por lo que aparece ahí, que nunca es tan surrealista, que nunca parece ser real. Entonces yo digo, el tipo no quiere meterse en la realidad porque le duele.
No quiero meterme en la realidad porque es aburridísima. La realidad es una cosa espantosa y aburrida. Los diálogos que suceden en la cocina, trasladados al cine, por ejemplo, son espantosos.
¿Por qué no va al baño? ¿Por qué no va al baño la gente en las películas? ¿Por qué no?
Porque es una película, Badía. No es la realidad, eso es lo malo. Confundir el cine con la realidad. Si el cine fuera absolutamente real, la siesta de un señor duraría 3 horas.
Claro, sería un plomazo. Sería un plomazo. A propósito...
Entonces, para eso existe la elipsis, para que la gente no vaya al baño.
¿Por qué no?
Tendría que existir la elipsis también en la vida real y uno evitaría una infinidad de momentos aburridos. Directamente se los saltearía, ¿no? Uno mira así una mina y ya luego la está abrazando, acostado con ella, y se ahorró 5 meses de persecuciones por elipsis, todo sería mucho más artístico.
¿Te acordás aquel
Pero
cuento?
no, la vida está llena de colectivos que no vienen.
Aquel cuento del caballo verde, tipo que pintaba por fin, y hacía toda la historia. No importa, no, olvídate. No, creí que lo sabías.
Tendrá como mínimo 6 décadas de estabilidad y de progreso.
Quiero informarles que ante eso he decretado el estado de sitio en todo el territorio nacional. He informado al honorable Congreso. Nuestro país vive horas difíciles que muestran la culminación de un largo proceso de deterioro.
Being working class family too, they didn't have enough money to go to the theater, so theater wasn't an option. Live stage shows, so it was mainly visual literacy. What was happening at that time to me? I did not understand that was happening. What it made me realize was that there was an intelligence, another kind of intelligence, that was trying to tell a story through where the director, the writer, and the cinematographer, where they were focusing your eyes. You know, whether it was the camera may be on an extremely low angle, looking up at you. The use of the lens, the size of the lens. I began to understand certain lenses interpreted the story differently. A longer lens crushed everything together and made it flat. A wider lens stretched everything and sometimes distorted it, especially if camera movement. I learned looking at certain pictures, particularly Wells's films, and William Wyler, too, a wide-angle lens. Wyler used his wide-angle lens in a very strong, steady image. But Wells used that wide-angle lens, 18 millimeter, it turns out, very often, to move along the walls, and you really felt, I felt as if the camera was flying, as if the story was flying by, you know. I didn't know why until I kept seeing the films again and again, and as I began to know a little more about what filmmaking was like and what cameras did, and that's, I still didn't know who made the pictures, you know, but I was beginning to understand that there are certain tools you use, and those tools become part of a vocabulary that's just as valid as that vocabulary that is used in literature, in our language. One has to begin to, I think, reach younger people at an earlier age for them to shape their minds in a critical way of looking at these images and what they mean, and how to interpret imagery. And I think in a more official way, I think, than just punching up on a computer or seeing something on a TV commercial or something like that. I think you really need to know. You need to know how ideas and emotions are expressed through a visual form. Now that form could be video, you know, or film. It probably eventually would be digital video for a long time to come. But it still has the same rules, and it still has the same vocabulary, and it still has the same grammar, I should say. Really, the same grammar. And the grammar is panning left and right, tracking in or out, you know, booming up and down, intercutting a certain way, the use of a close-up as opposed to a medium shot. What is a medium shot? What is a long shot? All these sort of things, and how do you use all these elements, and the different kinds of lighting, and how you use all these elements to make an emotional and psychological point to an audience. And I think we have to begin to teach our younger people how to use this very powerful tool, because we know film, the image, can be so strong for not only for good use, but also for bad use. Look at World War II, and look at the films that were made in Germany. Look at the great director, Leni Riefenstahl. Look at her Triumph of the Will, and how that really, the extraordinary ability she had as a filmmaker, how that helped shape the policies of the Third Reich. And of course we know what that led to. And so film is very powerful. Images are very powerful, I should say, and we have to begin to teach younger people how to use them, and and at least to begin to understand, to interpret them.